Hey guys, Eric here. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode. Before we tune in to the details today, I have one little favor I'd like to ask you. Are you listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify? If you are, and if you haven't done it already, it would be so helpful to Anita and I if you could leave a 5-star review. It could just be putting 5 stars or even writing down something that you really enjoyed and learned from the episodes that you've heard so far. This kind of help would really improve our ability to give you better content and also to help other people find out about Taiwanica. So if you wouldn't mind taking just a few moments to do that if you haven't already, we would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we really hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Like,
my puppy just died.
Yeah, or like, yes, something like
I'm having a divorce.
yeah, right? Like, how deep should I go to
I just had a really bad case of diarrhea.
Right? Like, how much information should I share with this cashier? And so I was kind of like feel uncomfortable when people are asking me these questions. This is episode 59, talking about hello and goodbye culture. Hello everybody, my name is Anita. How are you guys? Happy Friday here. I hope you also enjoy your Friday. If not, enjoy your everyday. Here, join us today is another host. His name is Eric. Hi Eric.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Taiwanica.
Welcome to Taiwanica.
My name is Eric, the other host here on Taiwanica Podcast, and I'm so happy to have you all here with us today.
Because we just had coffee, so we are very excited.
Yes, thank you so much to all of our fans who have been donating coffee to us.
Yes. Who is our new donator?
Our donator is Joe.
Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for the wonderful coffee.
Yes, thank you, Joe. We enjoyed it very much.
Yes, and that's the reason why we are so excited and keep going for the new episode.
Yes, so if you want to help us with our next episode, you can go to buymeacoffee.com.
Buymeacoffee.com.
All right, so we're going to dive into today's topic. So, what are we talking about today, Anita?
I just said that. Are you listening?
Hello? Is that what we're talking about?
And goodbye.
Oh, and goodbye.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So there's a lot of differences between Taiwan and the USA when it comes to these kind of activities, isn't there?
My personal opinion, I think there is only one difference.
What is that?
In America, you guys say hello and goodbye. In Taiwan, we don't.
So it's like, how do you ever, one, meet people, and two, leave those people?
Oh my god. We have many different ways to imply the meaning. We don't actually say it though.
Oh, I see.
You
So
see?
it's just like, Oh, I see. It's a goodbye time.
Yeah, goodbye time.
And then hello.
I think... Sorry if I gave a pig giggle sound. The most common one I would say is definitely the 7-Eleven. They always give you the very warming, welcoming.
欢迎光临.
So, 欢迎光临. And when you bye-bye, they would say... What do they say?
They don't say anything.
They don't say anything?
No.
They don't?
Mm.
Oh, probably they don't, right?
Yeah.
Only the door
Oh,
makes
谢
a
谢
sound.
光临.
Would they say that?
Or 海林光临 or something like that.
Definitely the door will sing when you leave.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's-
Boom.
I think the 7 just bing bong
Oh.
like this.
And the other one is quack, quack.
I don't know which Taiwan that you been to. It's definitely not the place I grew up to.
Been a lot of Taiwan.
So let's start. Just ignore Eric and continue the podcast.
That sounds good.
So hello. Do you
Hello.
want to say, sorry, do you want to introduce the way that you guys usually, like the most common one when you just walking on the street, how would you guys greeting?
So if we're meeting somebody for the very first time as a hello greeting, there's a few ways to go about it. One of the ways that a lot of people do is if the person has a pet, for example, more specifically a dog, you'll be like, oh my god, I love your dog, it's so cute. And then that's an entryway to saying hello to that person. This is a very common way in the United States for us to be able to make new friends and meet new people. Another one is to compliment somebody. Oh, I like your shoes. Oh, I like your shirt. Oh, I like your hairstyle. anything that's really like a compliment. And this is usually a really easy way for people to break the ice and start the conversation. And that's pretty much how it happens when you want to meet people. But generally when you're just saying hello to somebody, a stranger, like someone who works at a store or someone who is outside on the street, usually we could say hello or what's up or how's it going. Like these are the three most common ones. And then afterwards, the rest is pretty much history. You just ask questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's the main story that I wanted to share there. But one thing that a lot of people who come to the United States and don't really know about its culture and how to talk to people, they ask me, how can I even get the conversation going? And so the biggest thing that people say to me is that they just think about all the things that they will have to say and how do they approach the person, how do I know this person is safe and all of these other things.
Safe?
Yeah, just their appearance, because Americans can look angry, but after big and round. And if they are approaching them, Americans, we are generally happy people, but if you look at our faces when we're not paying attention, we can kind of look a little bit mean. I can definitely be one of those people. And so in those kind of situations, I've had a lot of people ask me, well, what do I do? And I just say to them, the previous thing I mentioned, well, you can do compliments, or you can simply just ask them a question and see how they respond. Generally, these two methods will have pretty good results and give you a more or less understanding of how communicative that person wants to be with you. So if they are very communicative about their opinions, then that's a good sign that they want to hang out with you. But if they are like, oh, yeah, if you ask them, hey, nice shoes, or say, nice, your shoes are really pretty, and they say, oh, thanks. That's a pretty good sign, right? You just pretty much know that they have no interest in you whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right? But if it's like, oh yeah, no, I got these at Chanel. I know Chanel sells shoes. I don't know, but I got them there, and they're just like super pretty, and I love them. And so like if you have a good relationship or feel after that conversation, you can exchange phone numbers.
So I think in the previous few episodes that we kept mentioning about how fast, how rapid the speed of Taiwan developing throughout the whole, just a decade. So for my parents' generation, they say hello very frequently. They were just walking on the street, seeing stranger walking, and say, oh, hello, Japa boy. Like this. This is very common, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's called, I don't know what it's called, sorry. When we started to have phones and everything just so fast, so the speed got really fast, so we don't really have the time to say hello to people. When we're walking on the street, we're always very focused on the place we're going to. I'm going to 7-Eleven, I'm going to work, like this. So this kind of part of our culture started to slowly die, sadly. So not many people are saying hello, or they don't just being very long time without saying hello to people, so they kind of just do it, become it's just the things they don't like to do, or they just didn't think about it. So the first thing I came to the USA is surprising that people are saying hello to everybody when you're just walking on the street or in the park or go to the grocery store. I remember the first time I came here and I was very afraid of going to the store.
Really?
Because they always ask me how are you doing today? I was like, I don't know how to answer the question because I never have anybody ask me this question at the situation at the grocery store. I don't know how deep can I tell them about my feeling, or
my puppy just died.
Yeah, or yes, something like
I'm having a divorce.
Yeah, right? How deep should I go to
I just had a really bad case of diarrhea.
We'll be right back.
I really like journaling, but I always end up with no time or cannot find a journal that I really like. So I was like, hey, let me create one. So here it is, a self-help journal created and designed by Anita. Inside the book, I provide very simple and easy to follow template. For example, in the morning, to-do list. In the evening, gratitude practice. So you can use a very little time to start this healthy habit. Go ahead and check it out in our description down below, or go to our buymeacoffee.com. Right? Like, how much information should I share with this cashier? And so I was kind of like feel uncomfortable when people are asking me this question. So I would actually like putting on headphones, pretend like I cannot hear them. But, and then I started to get used to it, and I just understand it's just part of the culture, and I started to love about the culture. Like right now, I would smile to the people who walked by when I go outside running, or just simply just have a little talk, just like what Eric mentioned. Like you say something to the person, it's like, "Oh my God, I love your hair. It's really great." Or it's like, "Oh my God, I love your kid is really cute. How old is your son? Or how old is your daughter?" Things like that. So I think that's the biggest difference. Like Taiwanese people genuinely are kind, but I would say it's shy. When they are shy, they don't really do the first action to say hello to people. Although this is part of their trait now, but they are very willing to say hello to foreigners.
Oh.
Have you had the experience like people will be like, hello?
If there's a reason for them to say hello to me, then yes. Like if I am at their store, for example, they'll be like super energetic to me. They'll be like, "Oh, hello!" when they go over to a Taiwanese person, they're like, "Oh," like they're like bowing and they're
like kind of like nodding,
and they're saying "ni hao" in a very gentle voice. It's not, very different. But with foreigners, they're like coming up into
like
my face.
a little bit of
like
energy spice to it.
Exactly, like they're like 5-year-old kids of going to the candy shop when they see me. They're like, "Oh, hey!"
Yeah,
it's really cute.
Yeah, that's cute.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think right now it's more happen to be like if you go to the store, they will definitely say hello to you on the street. Unfortunately, I think this is like the things I've tried to bring back. I don't know if it's just me being naive, but just me personally, one person wanted to bring back this part of culture in Taiwan.
Very optimistic.
Yes, but I wanted to, share the idea, which is, it's fine to say hello. Like, it's great. Like, sometimes there will be like, some people saying hello to me must be wanting something from me. We'll try to sell something. Because we have a lot of like street, I don't know how to call them. They'll say hello to you and it's trying to sell some products to you or some kind of things. This is also one way. So we kind of like make the connection. People saying hello to you maybe always wanted something from you. But
yes.
I really like this part of culture because I remember when I was a kid, people are very willing to say hello to people.
Yeah, and I hope that, like you said, that it's trying to make a comeback inside of Taiwan because it's a really fun thing to do, and new relationships are easily capable of budding because of that kind of phenomenon. And so it's really difficult to go outside your comfort zone inside of Taiwan because if you do try, there's a huge chance of rejection. And so the idea of being able to say hello to people and have them respond and be willing to communicate further would be an amazing change that could definitely help a lot of people feel more comfortable communicating, and not just in Chinese but also in English. So I think that's a really cool discovery that you made today. Is that Taiwanese people with greetings, they definitely in the past had some fantastic ways of doing it, but nowadays it's kind of dwindled away, and they can definitely use a new spruce up or change or just make it nice and pretty again. Hello is fun. Okay, hello is cool. All right, it's the new cool. All right.
You were trying to bring it back.
I'm going to make a T-shirt out of it. Hello is cool.
Liho is cool.
Liho is cool. All right, so just say Liho to your friendly neighborhood Taiwanican. Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So this is a good one. Yeah. So in the United States, I mean, this has never been an issue with greetings, even in business or in any kind of scenario when you're like having a party or meeting someone new, even at something negative like a funeral or at a what else like.
Basically, any kind of occasion, people will always start with a greeting.
Exactly. No matter what, you will get a greeting, and then you can connect with people at basically any kind of occasion, even if you've never met them once before. And like, take an example, my mother. My mother has moved around the United States and lived in a different country before, and she has been exposed to tons and tons of different people, and that's just because she's always willing to say hello to people. in the right opportunity. And you know my mom, when if you get her talking, it's really hard to get her to stop talking. So
Said that.
okay, well, hopefully she's not listening to this episode.
Okay.
But yes, that's the whole idea, is that we Americans, if you want to be able to develop a relationship, it's really easy. Just say hi.
Simply just say hi.
Yeah.
I think I have a bonus to give everybody. If you listen to this podcast until the end, I will share a really, really, really good way that I learned a long time ago to say hello to people. If you work in the street, store, coffee shop, or anywhere, if you see a girl or a boy that you would like to, ask for a phone number or line in Taiwan, in most of the situation, there was one really, really good way. You will have like a high successful rate to get the numbers.
All right.
Which
so
I will share at the end.
Sounds good.
Episode.
So I have a couple questions for Taiwan.
Sure.
This is just from a foreigner's perspective, and so if any foreigners are listening to this, I think this will be of good benefit to you if it's true or not. So one of the things that I've found is gifts. And when you meet new people, especially people who you want to impress, whether it's a boss or a soon-to-be mother-in-law or father-in-law, is it true that giving them a gift is a small gift? It doesn't have to be huge, like maybe like a new wallet or maybe a cool souvenir from your home country. Would this be stuff that you could give to the person and it would be considered culturally correct as a greeting?
It's not considered as a culturally correct. It's definitely culture correct.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's
All right.
always the go-to, like always. Doesn't matter, like you wanted to impress somebody, you wanted to establish a new healthy relationship, happy relationship, giving a gift is definitely a thing you must do. It's not, you could or you should try, it's the things you need to do.
So it's more of it's part of the culture. So if you don't give a gift when you're first meeting someone on a formal level, then they might not consider you as polite.
They wouldn't think you're not polite, they just have difficult time to trust you.
Oh, so the trust barrier will still be there.
Yeah, they will think you don't want to put in an effort to be in this relationship.
Interesting. So
Subconsciously.
that's very fascinating. And so one of the other things I've also noticed in Taiwan that's kind of similar is your tea drinking ceremonies, right? So if you go to someone's house and you stay there for maybe an hour or so, they might offer you to drink tea with them. And this is also a sign of trust, right?
That's right. That they consider you as a guest. Okay. So yes, Taiwanese people, in Taiwan we have drinking tea culture. It's a really big part of our culture, which is, that's kind of like, we will put in your skill, because you will show your skill set to make the tea. So usually we don't share this with other people because that's your skill, considered as a secret of family, how to make really the best tea. But when some guests to your house, you are willing to show them what you got.
Oh.
That's the meaning behind it, to show them what you got.
So like in America, we say pull out our guns.
Pull out your guns, yes. We put out our teapot.
Oh, wow. Watch out, everybody. It's hot.
Anyways, so yes. So there are two meanings. One is I show you what I got, and bring out the big gun. And the second one is, this is the best I got. Because this thing requires skill. So I see you as a very important guest. So I present this wonderful part of our culture to you.
I have a very great example of this, and it's actually a very personal one. It's Anita's dad. When I first met Anita's parents, not the first time I went to their house, but the second time I went there, her dad started to open up to me, and I couldn't understand what he was saying because he was speaking Taiwan Guoyu, and so Anita had to translate everything for me. But basically what happened was, he's like, I want to show you something. Anita was telling me, I want to show you something. I was like, oh, you're going to show me something?
My dad
And then she said, my dad wanted to show you something. I was like, oh, wow, good job,
wow,
translator. Okay. Anyways, so then after that, he pulled out this giant piece of wood, like a wooden slab that looked like prehistoric, and I was like the age of the dinosaurs, and I was like, where did this thing come from? And then all of a sudden, there's all these little teapots, and I was like, oh, you like to collect teapots? Good job. And then he started pulling out this giant hot tea kettle.
Yeah.
It's humongous. It's like bigger than a cat. And just
That's
like,
not true.
It's so true. And it's like a huge bottle of water. He's like, I'm going to make you tea. I was like, oh boy, I love tea. So, and then I'm going to say this right now. Anita's dad should really open his own tea shop because he makes some of the best tea I've ever had in my life. It's so good.
Yeah, you should tell him that. He will be very happy.
Okay, I will.
Drinking tea has been a very important part of my dad's life. When he was 18, actually, he tried to baked. I think that's the correct verb, right? Baked his own tea leaves. He worked in a tea farm when he was 18. He tried to do that. Didn't work out, but anyways, drinking tea has been a very important part of his life, and he's very proud of his tea making skills. And that piece of wood that you mentioned, my dad was that time that he brought back to that piece of wood was I haven't seen that piece of wood for like more than 10 years. When we were a kid, he usually do that for the important guests. But so for some situation, not many guests come to our house, and so he kind of just, when he's drinking tea with my mom, he just using simple method. But that shows that he's cherished your visit. I think you're a very important guest.
Oh, I feel very honored, and every time I go over there, he always pulls it out. So I'm very honored.
That's right. But that is so cute that he would just secretly. I don't know where he put that piece of wood, to be honest. I don't know where it went. Every time Eric was gone, but every time Eric was there, he would just the whole set was already ready on the table.
And whenever I don't want to drink tea, he's super disappointed.
So he had to keep drinking.
Yeah, he's like, I have to keep going. And afterwards, my stomach's so upset because there's so much acid in that tea. But it's like, it's really good. But yeah, it's a lot of tea. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I have a really quick question that I want to ask you. This is very popular in Japan when they do greetings. And that is that they will give, in a business situation or a more formal situation, people will exchange business cards and they'll use both of their hands while doing a bow to greet and give that card. Is that the same thing in Taiwan?
Yes. If you want to show some respect to whoever you are talking to or interact with, we use our both hands. This is come from a very traditional culture. Even sometimes in my family, in my house, I still have to do that to my parents. Especially when it's important things like Eric mentioned, like exchange business card. Or you give hongbao during the Chinese New Year. You use both hands to show your respect to that person.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that it was not only in business, but it could even be with your family. And for holidays.
Yes, so just, as a special occasion, like, for example, if your grandma is 98 years old, you might have to kneel down, give them both hands, and give your grandma the hongbao.
Wow, that's really interesting.
That's part of the culture, yes.
Oh. Well, that was all my questions for greetings in Taiwan. So I want to dive into goodbye, farewell to you time.
That's not the song. But
That's okay. That's Eric's song.
Thank you for your singing.
Copyright by Eric. Okay.
Yes. What's your question?
Well, I have a lot, but let's, one thing I want to bring up about USA farewells is that I definitely think that they are significantly different from Taiwan, more or less. And usually when we have a goodbye for somebody, it's kind of like a big bang event. Everyone gets together to do one big thing, and that is to, have a party. And so everyone that will gather together, and you'll sing, you'll dance, you'll maybe get drunk, you probably will say some really embarrassing stories about the person, or maybe someone will be even so hard on saying goodbye that they will pull out a PowerPoint of all the embarrassing pictures of you. Of course, yeah. And then they'll be like, you remember this time where you did that? That was hilarious. And so these are the kind of things that we do for farewells a lot of the times. If it is with friends, with family members, it's a little bit more sentimental. It could be just a little dinner together and doing the same thing of just basically reminiscing on all of the things that you did. And so sometimes people in these kind of occasions will give a memorable gift, something from an event that happened, regardless if it's related to the person or not. So let me give you an example. example. So if I were to say move to Japan, and then my father was finding out I was going, and he wanted to express his goodbye to me in a sentimental way, he might give me something like his grandfather's watch. And he'd be like, this was my grandfather's watch. This is a 100-year-old watch. And
Exactly like your father.
Oh,
That's
thank you.
great.
Yes.
Good job.
And hi, my name's Jim.
Hi, Jim.
And I gave my son my grandfather's watch because my grandfather was crossing the ocean from Germany to the United States. He had this watch and only this watch. And so I'm going to give it to you for your travel, son. And I was like, oh, thanks, Dad.
Did you really get that?
No, I'm making a story up.
I see.
Yeah, but I know it's really believable, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, but this is the kind of style of way of saying goodbye in the United States that's very common. It's usually giving something very valuable of your own to somebody else
I see.
to wish them good luck. So
Wow.
this is one of the common farewells.
Your watch story got a tear in my eye.
Oh, you got a tear in your eye?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Thank you so much.
Get an umbrella because those things are huge. Okay. Anyways, what about in Taiwan?
In Taiwan, depends on which group are you belonging to. If you're retired from your work, or are you just you're going to travel for a long time, or you like me moving to a country, just be immigrant to another country. So usually no matter what, between your coworkers or your families, we usually will go hang out, go to a restaurant to celebrate or have a farewell party. It's very important for us to, that two things very important. The first thing you mentioned about is the gift, right? First thing, somebody giving gift. The second part is meal, like treating people a very important meal, or like really nice meal. It's very important to show that we care about that person, right? So for farewell parties, usually the same. We will treat them we'll gather together in a restaurant, just have a farewell party, having a nice meal, talking to each other, saying goodbye. And yes, if you cared about that person a lot, you will give gift. Between family is the same. Usually is we will give money to, like, oh, you're gonna use this money when you go out, or things like that. And gift included too. And for the family, they will be having the watch story that you just mentioned. Like probably your mom or dad will give you something really important.
No.
Or they will give you something that you always wanted.
Oh, that's great.
Just kind of like bribe you to stay.
Oh.
Kinda. They didn't say it, but they were just, oh, I know you really like this camera. I'm traveling outside while I need a car.
Yeah.
But anyways.
That's the point, right?
Yeah.
Stay. Here's a brand new car.
Bling bling. So yeah, usually they didn't say that, but they would try to touch your heart and makes you don't want to leave them.
So what did your parents give you when you left Taiwan?
Oh, that's a really good question. I don't think they gave me anything.
Oh, they didn't give you anything.
Did I?
I think
so.
they said good luck.
I think so. Yeah.
They actually encouraged you to leave.
At that point, yeah. Even though there are, to be honest, they always say the opposite. For example, if I say I want to go to Taipei, don't go to Taipei, go to Tainan. Tainan is better. If you just say I want to go to Tainan, no, go to Taipei. They always say the opposite of what you're saying. They just have to.
I like the color blue. No, I like the color red. I like the color red.
red is better.
Red. I like the color red. No, blue.
They just had to say things about your decision. They always do. So when I tell them I'm moving away, they were like, it's really far away. It's so expensive. And then all crazy people shooting all the time. That's what they say. My mom, they're crazy people shooting all the time. Yeah, but eventually they just accept the fact that I'm moving. So of course they are not like, cold-hearted people, so they will still give me the blessing, which is by not telling me not to go. That's their way of showing they're supporting my decision.
Well, it's really, a special way. Your parents are indeed very special, old school special, and I think it's a good thing that they were willing to, at least be accepting of it, because a lot of parents would, disown their children if they were to do something like this. But even though your parents are really strict, they were still okay with your decision. So I think that's good. And so this actually leads over to something that I wanted to bring up that Taiwan and the United States have in common is more with friends. I mean, it can be with family, but I don't know if you noticed, but if you did, definitely
give me the thumbs
up, the voice version thumbs up, so people know, is that after a fun time, with people.
What do you mean by fun time?
Like it could be a whole day. Like you go to the zoo.
Okay.
And then you go have some sandwiches. And then afterwards you go walking around.
No.
And then you think, wow, today was just the best day. We just got along the whole entire time. And then at the end of it, we're like, ooh, let's take a group selfie together. And this right here, this group selfie action is kind of a farewell. You notice that? It's kind of like a farewell action. You know, after you take that photo,
Get out of here.
you feel comfortable to leave. That's what I'm saying. It's like it feels okay to leave because you recognize that the day is over and it's now you have this amazing smiling faces in a picture and you're now like, all right, get the hell out of here.
I never thought about it that way, but I'm glad that you mentioned it. It's definitely a ceremony. Like, we did a lot of things without saying it. We did a lot of things to show it or to imply that's, what we are trying to say. Taking a group photo doesn't have to be selfie, though. Taking a group photo, like everybody standing in one line outside of the ice cream store. Do you remember that happened in Taiwan?
That was a good time.
Everybody just staying in one line asking people taking photos of that. And after they say that 你要传给我 they will always say that 好那拜拜那你要记得传给我 they will keep repeating send me the photos. Yes,
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
a really good point.
Right, so it's like after that moment when we got ice cream in, what was it, Nantou? Yeah, it was, everyone was like, all right, yeah, we got our ice cream, we got our photo taken, everyone get the photo, goodbye. Yeah, so it's it's really interesting how that can be considered a farewell ceremony, but it does make sense now in today's age because everyone's taking photos of everything.
Yeah.
That when we're all together, sharing that one special moment of taking a photo and, being together in that photo, not only does it consider a special action, but it's also kind of a special memory when we're all doing it together.
Yeah.
Like, you're thinking about like what Jiefu is doing with his ice cream, or you remember that like I was wearing no sandals, in the photo or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a really special memory that is easy to put into your brain.
Yeah, that's true. It's like a highlight of your after a good day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's definitely one.
Yeah. So is there any other farewell ceremonies in Taiwan that you would like to share today?
Farewell, my personal experience, maybe, because of my age, the biggest farewell party that I actually experienced as when I was in college, because we have a lot of exchange students in our school. And that's actually the first chance for me to learn how to say goodbye to people, because I was like most of the Taiwanese people, we don't tend to say how much we cared about each other. Like I said, we don't say it, we show it by doing certain actions like what we mentioned above. So that's actually, I learned how to express my gratitude and how much I care about the person, put into words. So that's one of the very memorable things of a farewell party, Then I think about that in our culture, we have a lot of things. Really, we just focus on the action. For example, funeral. We have this kind of fake crying show. I mentioned about that, the harder that you cry means you care about that person more.
For more details on that, you can check out our funeral episode.
Yes. So, we're doing through actions. We don't say by actually saying the word that I love you, I'll miss you, things like this. So it's definitely a very interesting, the differences here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just great that you still have a method to say goodbye, instead of saying you show. This is actually the special bonus farewell that I wanted to add into this episode that isn't American nor Taiwanese. It's actually Japanese. And maybe some Taiwanese people do this. If you do, please share. Is when I was leaving Japan to move to Taiwan, I was given a piece of paper that's a thick piece of paper with a frame around it, and inside of it would be some sort of symbol, whether it was a heart or a star or a circle, and then there would be each of the people's names written in it in some way, and then below it would be a little note, like farewell note, like have a good trip, or thanks so much for helping me, or I wish you all the best. It's all on this one piece of frameable paper and they would give it to me the day before I left, and I found that to be a very sentimental way of expressing goodbye. And I still have all those. You know, it's just a wonderful thing.
You mean the piece of paper that I laminated?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You can
that's
laminate it, or
laminated.
it's on like a thick piece of paper that it just looks like it can be framed by itself. Right.
Yeah, that also happened in Taiwan actually.
Oh.
It's actually very similar to the situation like you're saying goodbye to a teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, we do that. Like we put pictures and we'll ask probably the kids from the class will say their name and say something to the teacher. We do that too.
Oh, so it's specifically for teachers.
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
The
so
other
maybe it's
situation.
also for me because I was a teacher in Japan.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I found it really cute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we added a farewell teacher.
Yeah, they say bye.
Oh, cool. In USA, we definitely don't do that.
Oh, what do
Yeah.
you guys do then? If you say
Peace
goodbye
out,
to the
teacher.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Bye.
If you really care about them, maybe you'll ask them for their email or something. But that's about it.
That's one thing about American people I don't understand.
What's
like,
that?
you guys write emails too.
We do every kind of message
So old-fashioned.
and traditional text messages.
Oh my goodness. Like, they'll be like, oh, I sent you an email. Did you receive it? I was like, what? What is this sentence?
You've
mean?
got mail.
Yeah, I was like, what is it? Am I in the 80s or 90s? Emails and the regular text message is like a huge way of...
Anita never checks her email.
You
Never.
ask any Taiwanese people.
I ask Anita once a week, have you checked your email this week? And she's like, what?
Do I have
What's-
one?
Mail? Eat? Eat mail? I don't understand.
Malfunction.
Yes.
We don't, unless it's business email. That's the only time we will write email. But
Oh, we do it for everything.
I know
So-
it's so difficult for me
Before
to
you keep
read.
complaining about email,
Sorry.
I'm gonna put you in the spam folder. Okay. So I'm really interested. What is this bonus that you're wanting to share with everybody?
Oh, this will be better if you can see the video. So I will post it on Instagram
Okay.
for how you do it. Okay.
But explain.
I will do that. I will do it. Hold your horses. All right. You're already married. Why do you need this skill?
When do you want to make a friend?
Okay, so if you're at the supermarket, any kind of places, you saw, oh my god, look at that girl, so cute. Oh my god, look at the man, the muscle.
The muscle.
The muscle.
All right.
So you just keep doing your thing, keep it cool, okay? So for example, I was on the fruit aisle maybe,
Ooh.
and I was just picking up some, almost say banana, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Peach. It's
That's
a
even
peach
better.
season.
That's even better.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Avocado.
Oh,
How about that?
total turn off. Way too healthy.
That's true though. So anyways, depends on how you wanted to show it. Just keep what you were being doing. And so you just, kind of do things and waiting for the person to give you the eye contact. If you just keep doing your things, or, if you look at the person, they will know. People just have the sense that people are staring at them. So you just keep giving them the nice, don't stare, just the nice, gentle stare. Not staring at it too hard.
So what's the difference? Like if I'm squinting, is it too hard, or what's too hard? If I do it too long,
Yeah, or you open your eyes really wide open.
like an insect.
Yeah, like, oh my god, like that. Don't do that.
That
Just
would not
like,
be good.
very gentle. Relax your eyes and look at the person. When the person looked at you, give him or her a gentle smile and say hi. Don't actually say the word. Just use the mouth to say hi. Like
Really?
this. Yes, it works every single time.
If they say yes, right?
What do you mean they say yes?
What if they don't like it? Then they
If they don't like it, they'll walk away. If they like it, they will come to you and ask you questions.
really Ooh.
Works every single time.
Wow.
After you say hi, you like I say, gentle smile, relaxed eye, say, and without saying the word, and you go back to what you're doing. If they really like you, they are interested, they will come to you. They'll ask, more likely ask about your peaches or bananas. The fruit that you're choosing.
We're talking about fruit. Wink, wink.
Or avocado.
Hey, look, eggplant.
Yeah. More than likely, they were asking, like, oh, how do you choose your avocado? I always have difficult time. They will ask you to do something for
So
them.
small talk will start.
Yep.
So this is a way for small talk to start.
What?
Yes, avocados. Interesting. Well, thank you
Yep.
so much for sharing this.
You're welcome.
I'm sure many men and many women are very happy to hear this information. It takes courage, but it will be worth it.
What can you what can you lose? You
Yeah.
still, even the person didn't talk to you, you still have your banana, peaches, and avocado. The point is you have to go back to where you were doing. Stop staring, normal smile, normal hi.
Oh.
You see? So you just like, hi, and then go back to what you're doing and pretend to be like very enjoy doing what you were doing.
Okay.
That's the point.
Sounds good. Good tips.
You're
Good
welcome.
tips. You should be a date coach.
I am.
Oh, you can find her at Taiwanica Instagram if you want to do any coaching with dating. You can
I
find
am.
Anita.
Yeah, I am a love and relationship and dating coach.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
You're
sharing
welcome.
all this information. It was really fun.
Yeah.
And as a final thing, this is the last episode of Taiwanica Season 1. You thought I was going to say the end of Taiwanica forever, but no.
Introducing.
We are now introducing a new series, episodes that we're going to be doing that has a very different topic, but it's going to be more specific to what Anita and Eric are passionate about, and we think we can help you not only improve yourself, but enjoy yourself while
Yeah.
listening to this podcast.
Yes,
Um,
definitely.
and they are
About life coach.
about life coach and emotions.
Emotions.
Yes. So we are going to be focusing on these two topics in the next upcoming episodes in season 2. We will be sharing all of that information.
I think our plan is we will, because the next episode is 16th, so it's a quite important transition for us. We will give you a little bit of introduction of what we are going to do, what kind of perspective we will be included for season 2.
Yes. So if you really want to figure out all that information, you go to that episode to find out more.
Yeah, the reason is we wanted to expand our listeners, give more and better service. Here we only talk about from the culture and language aspect. Why not put into, emotions? And because like throughout the whole season 1, we've been talking about the struggles that Taiwanese people mainly focus on and the situation that we encounter, or like the most people are doing this thing and they have different thought, they don't know how to do it. Surprisingly, culture aspect has a huge influence on the individual level. So I think that's a really interesting and helpful topic for the season 2. So stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much for
Will
that.
you listen to it?
Yeah, I was listening.
Your face is not very convinced.
Oh, well, I was just listening because of you said cultural instead of emotional. So I was just making sure that we're talking about the emotions included with the culture.
Yes.
Yes,
That's
okay.
what I'm saying.
I just
say
wanna
the
make sure
culture. Yeah,
that
yeah.
we're-
We're not fighting. We're not
not
fighting.
No, we're just mixing it in. I like
yes,
it.
mix it together.
So yeah, so culture, emotions, life coaching. Oh, and a final note I just want to mention to everybody who lives in Taiwan. If you are in Taiwan, there is a fantastic new opportunity that's available for you if you are interested in talking to a
Counselor.
Yes. For the next year, Taiwan is offering free counseling for people who are
From the age 15 to 30.
age 15 to 30.
You will have free 3
It's a 3
counseling.
sessions. Yeah.
More detail, you can go to a website to look up if you're qualified of this application. But the point is, I think this is a really good policy because we are a huge fan of supporting people to have counseling sections.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we will leave a link in the description below for you to find that easily.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. We'll see you in the season 2.
Very excited.
Everyone, take care.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Taiwanica. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode.